If it was so perfectly created, why does it fail so much for so many people?
The food we
And you can say that, but there's extreme athletes who do
eat
take care of
terrible
their.
food.
No, no, dude, there's vegans who still have problems with their body.
There are vegans, yes, but they're trash vegans.
And I guess I'll argue my own against my own point here. Were we meant to run faster, jump higher, collide into each other as fast, as hard as and as powerful as we do? Probably not. It's not what we're meant for, but um,
Just like went against yourself.
yeah, it is. So,
But
bro, hold on. That's what happens all day, dog.
good.
If humans evolved from apes, why do apes still exist?
The theory of evolution as articulated by Darwin is like kind of not true,
In
right?
what sense?
Well, in the most basic sense, the idea that, all life emerged from a single cell organism and over time, and there would be a fossil record of that, and there's not.
There's not a fossil record of transitionary species, like species that are adapting to its environment.
There's
And they
tons
develop.
of record of
Right.
adaptation, and you see it in your own life. I mean, I have a lot of dogs. I see adaptation in dogs, through the
Sure.
litter to litter. But no, there's no evidence at all that none, zero, that, people, evolve seamlessly from a single cell amoeba. No, there's not. There's no chain in the fossil record of that at all. And that's why you don't actually hear people, you hear them make reference to evolution because the theory of adaptation is clearly, obviously true. But Darwin's theory's totally, that's why it's still a theory almost 200 years later, No, we have not found that at all.
I am the highest version of myself. I'm the highest version of myself. I know I am that I am.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Godspeed Podcast. It's good, Thug.
What up on you?
Huh?
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 What are you running? You fucking inside your mouth, you son of a bitch.
Jeez, bro.
Hey man, I had a day today. I'm sorry. I'm taking it out on you.
You are.
Take it out. I take it out on the people I care about. Isn't that how it goes?
Sure. You okay?
Well, well, let's get into it.
All right. That was you always
No,
said
here.
you
Oh,
had a lot of
real
stuff.
quick. I always think after like, share, subscribe. We're trying to get this out to as many people as possible. Please, please, please. It costs you nothing. Do us a favor. Hit the like, share, subscribe button, whatever the case may be. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Joe hit the graphics and the post. Thanks, Joe. And
Or you could just read.
and away we go. No,
Alrighty. Let's just get into it real quick.
let's get into it. I like to get into it.
I know you do, but
Who invented the human skeleton was truly a genius. Every movement of the human body is a marvel that human science struggles to replicate. Such a precise structure. Could it be the product of evolution or a masterfully crafted design? The seamless coordination between joints and muscles allows the body to perform various movements without causing itself harm. Each bend and glide is like a flawless mechanical design. The hip joint, being a ball and socket joint, enables 360-degree rotation, granting both flexibility and stability during movement. The knee joint, on the other hand, functions as a hinge joint, allowing flexion and extension on a single plane. In the operation of joints, cartilage and synovial fluid play essential roles. Cartilage acts as a cushion, effectively protecting the bones and reducing wear. Synovial fluid provides lubrication, reducing friction, and allowing smoother, more fluid motion.
so that was just a quick how magnificent the human body is.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you so far.
We were a big old nothing bang in the fucking middle of infinite space that had no actual cause.
I got a couple things real quick. One, were your feelings hurt when you saw that knee bending so effortlessly?
No,
Two, hold on, I'm not done.
My knees have been other ways also.
Number two, my hips don't move like that, bro. Like I think that's for
You ate since you were been like a little kid.
huh?
It's the food we've been eating since we were kids. That's why
Okay.
our bodies don't work correctly.
All right. I'm telling my mom you said that.
That's
Third, I'll tell her. Give me your number. Third, and I'm not a naysayer here because I do think there is something spectacular about the human body. But if it was so perfectly created, why does it fail so much for so many people?
the food we
And you can say that, but there's extreme athletes who do
eat
take care of
terrible
their.
food.
No, dude, there's vegans who still have problems with their body.
There are vegans, yes, but they're trash vegans. Find me a fruitarian
Every
who has bad
every
body problems.
every single one of them. And I guess I'll argue my own against my own point here. Were we meant to run faster, jump higher, collide into each other as fast, as hard as and as powerful as we do? Probably not. It's not what we're meant for, but
Just like went against yourself.
yeah, it is. So,
But
bro, hold on. That's what happens all day, dog.
good. No, that's how everybody should. They should come from every angle.
I come from every angle,
But
dog.
the
All of them.
most vegans just eat fucking garbage. They eat fake impossible burgers and shit that are fucking chemicals.
They had me when they came out. I'm not gonna lie. I bought right into that shit.
Bro.
You remember? I think I was living with you still. Yeah,
Yeah.
San Diego.
Yeah.
Yep, we were still living together. I went plant-based for like a month. Dude,
Month, my bad.
it was a month.
Bro, I don't
And
know any fruitarians who are having medical issues. Every fruitarian I know has been reversing their issues.
bro, it was so cool to go to Burger King, get an Impossible Whopper and fries and a Diet Coke and still lose weight. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
I was actually having a conversation last night, texting with a family member, and they were telling me how stressed out they are about my fasting and how like they're very worried about me and shit. And all I could think in my head is if I had been losing weight because I was taking AstraZeneca, which in another language means a road, I think Latin means a road to death. Um, People wouldn't be stressed out. They wouldn't be worried about me because I was taking a pill that's fucking advertised on mainstream television. It's all fucking bullshit, dude. Most vegans I know are trash vegans. They eat fucking garbage. You're allowed to eat candy and cakes and pies and shit as long as there's no
cakes
dairy
and pies, cakes and pies.
Cakes and pies, cakes and pies. Did you say steak? Dude, it's fucking comedy, bro.
It is weird. It is weird that like you're eating fresh, non-processed food. Well, actually nothing right now, but
Yeah.
in your daily life, you eat literally the pretty much the best food for you.
And people are worried.
And people are more worried now or willing to say something to you now than they were. Did anybody say, "Hey Joe, you're kind of fat, dog," when you were fat?
My girlfriend,
Okay.
when
Well,
when I was dating.
she cares.
Yeah.
She
But
cares.
but she's also one of the people that are worried about me now for eating fruit. So at least she said something back in the day, tried to make me eat healthy and shit.
Yeah.
But it's still everyone else is just fucking worried about me. And it's like, bro, I get fasting because nobody really knows. I grew up my entire life thinking 7 days with no food and I'm gonna die. So I understand that everybody's been indoctrinated. I can wear a hat because I don't have to wear headphones.
I'm so excited.
It just doesn't make any sense because they don't know better, is what I'm saying, for fasting. But eating fucking fruits and vegetables, and now people are worried, that makes no goddamn sense to me. Fasting you could figure out just by doing a tiny bit of research, but nobody does that. They just get worried for no reason because they believe mainstream media.
It's a little odd. I'm not gonna lie. I am gonna say that I didn't say anything because I was also right there with you, eating the same shit.
Oh,
So it's not that
Yeah.
I didn't care, but I was also poisoning myself as much as possible.
yeah. Well,
But I was also not in a great mental space. Oh, I see this hat. It needs a little curve.
I think the mental space is also the food because the food gets us to do it. If you eat fucking fried foods, you're eating engine oil, engine lubricant.
Well, I am a fucking high performing machine. Maybe I need a little engine oil for this guy.
Sucking it back right now, bud. No, I don't know if there's engine oil on that, but there's definitely horrible chemicals and all.
I wish we could get a Red Bull sponsor. Holy shit.
That would never happen, bro.
Why?
They'd watch the beginning of one episode and be like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, but they're gonna see me sucking them down left and right nonstop. Bro,
Not caring that there's horrible shit. Yeah.
you put a Red Bull fridge back here and fill this bitch. Listen.
You would have to do if we ever get sponsors that want to sponsor the show,
Mhm.
it would literally have to remove me from the fucking entire ad and just be you, and we'll just place them in the middle.
It's the best fucking advertisement ever. Look, this guy says how bad our shit is, and his buddy state drinks in his face every single episode.
Yeah.
I mean, anyways.
I don't think it's gonna happen, bud, because it's fucking poison and terrible for you. But I say that too often for them to give us a sponsorship.
Keeps me going.
That's like Bud Light giving Sydney Sweeney a sponsor deal.
They should.
You'd have to be a fucking guy that pretends to be a woman in order to get that deal. It would never happen.
Nah, they flip flopped hard on that.
Well, whatever, another different place that's not Bud Light, then I don't know.
Okay. All right. Anyways,
All right.
back to the amazing human body.
People still don't know what this episode's about, probably.
Hey, can you show some amazing female human bodies instead of male human bodies?
Well, we're done with that part.
Let's run that American Eagle egg. Speaking of Sydney.
No, here's the next video, though.
Ironically, let's begin with none other than Charles Darwin himself, the renowned pioneer of the theory of evolution, who introduced his ideas in 1859 through his seminal work on the origin of species. Charles Darwin said, "To suppose that the eye, with all its inimitable contrivances for adjusting the focus to different distances, for admitting different amounts of light, and for the correction of spherical and chromatic aberration, could have been formed by natural selection, seems, I freely confess, absurd in the highest degree." Louis Bonheur said, "Evolution is a fairy tale for grown-ups. This theory has helped nothing in the progress of science. It is useless." Malcolm Muggeridge said, "I myself am convinced that the theory of evolution, especially the extent to which it's been applied, will be one of the great jokes in the history books of the future. Posterity will marvel that so very flimsy and dubious a hypothesis could be accepted with the incredible credulity that it has." Dr. Colin Patterson said, "No one has ever produced a species by mechanisms of natural selection. No one has ever gotten near it, and most of the current argument in neo-Darwinism is about this question." Adnan Akhtar said, "The complexity and intricacy of living organisms cannot be explained solely by chance and natural processes. There must be a higher intelligence behind their creation. Considerable doubt persists regarding the fundamental concept that one species can gradually transform into a completely different species over time. Skepticism is further fueled by historical examples that often rely on highly speculative interpretations, requiring a significant degree of faith to even be considered plausible. Instead of categorizing certain discoveries as entirely new species, or simply small variations within existing species, they are often labeled as transitional forms. This labeling is a common practice among evolutionists attempting to establish intermediate connections in the evolutionary chain. This entirely speculative process forms the foundation of the theory, suggesting, for example, how an aquatic species might undergo a gradual series of transitions over an extended period through successive generations, ultimately becoming a land-dwelling animal. This involves a gradual process in which an organism undergoes a reduction or loss of distinct aquatic features, which become less advantageous in water, while simultaneously developing entirely new features that are specifically adapted for survival in a non-aquatic land environment. The theory requires acceptance of countless leaps of faith, undergoing transitions from one form to another without providing any demonstrated biological or chemical mechanisms to explain the feasibility of such transitions. We are simply asked to play along, out of blind trust, to keep this naturalistic theory cohesive. Charles Darwin himself acknowledged the crucial importance of finding evidence of transitional forms in nature, commonly referred to as the fossil record. He conceded that without such evidence, his theory would be deemed inadequate. Despite ongoing research, there remains a significant deficiency in the fossil record. When purported missing links are discovered, they have been marred by numerous instances of fraud and forgery.
So we'll pause it there for a second. What do you think so far that micro evolution exists, but not macro? And I don't want to hear about Eric Dubay.
No, oh, um, Yeah, I can't agree more, man. Like, obviously, there's proofs of microevolution. And if we did evolve, where's all the missing links, right?
Yeah.
This leads me to my conclusion that aliens,
What?
aliens.
Aliens what?
I could see aliens coming here, finding primates, removing us, or helping us along to get to the next stage of evolution. That's I mean, how else would we have gotten here, bro?
Bro, there's a creator. I know you don't believe in God. There's a creator.
I
The
if
evidence is all over.
it's either aliens or this is a simulation.
Or there's a creator. And the creator, this is still a simulation with a creator. I think me and you are fucking dreaming right now. I think as soon as we die, we fucking wake up and I'm like, wow, that fucking felt real. Like, your soul has a body. Your body doesn't have a soul. You're a
It's
meat
deep,
suit.
man.
You're a meat suit. And
You're a
as soon as you
fucking meat
die,
suit. What?
exactly, yes, I am a meat suit. As soon as you die, you
Call
wake
me a
up
meat
back
suit.
to where you're supposed to be.
Call me a meat suit, you son of a bitch. How
All
dare
right,
you?
now he's gonna go through the bullshit missing links that were supposedly found throughout the years.
Is it? Hold on. It's Eric DeBagan?
Yes, for a little while longer, but
Let me get another sip of this Red Bull.
These historical falsifications have damaged the credibility of evolutionary theory, revealing the lengths to which some evolutionists are willing to go to support naturalistic views. Throughout history, numerous instances of confirmed fraud and creative reconstructions have been aimed at attempting to identify missing links in the story of human origins. However, all attempts have ultimately failed. Turning our attention to historical instances, there have been numerous cases where scientists and proponents of the theory of evolution have used cleverly crafted fakes, forgeries, and highly speculative assumptions in their efforts to support this naturalistic theory. Proposed by German biologist Ernest Haeckel, the recapitulation theory suggested that the development of an individual organism, ontogeny, recapitulates the evolutionary history of its species, phylogeny. According to this theory, the stages of embryonic development in an organism mirror the evolutionary stages that its ancestors underwent. Modern embryology and evolutionary biology have revealed that the relationship between autogeny and phylogeny is far more complex than Haeckel proposed. Haeckel's recapitulation theory has been widely discredited and is no longer considered accurate by any of the scientific community worldwide. Ernest Haeckel's scientific work, particularly his illustrations of embryos he presented to support his recapitulation theory, faced intense criticism from his peers. Accused of manipulating and exaggerating his drawings to strengthen his recapitulation theory, Haeckel was found guilty of scientific misconduct during a trial by his peers. The verdict confirmed that his illustrations did not reflect the actual appearance of embryos. This controversy undermined Haeckel's credibility and led to a loss of support for his recapitulation theory within the scientific community. After his trial, Haeckel was quoted saying, "After this compromising confession of forgery, I should be obliged to consider myself condemned and annihilated if I had not the consolation of seeing, side by side with me in the prisoner's dock, hundreds of fellow culprits, among them many of the most trusted observers and most esteemed biologists. The great majority of all the diagrams in the best biological textbooks, treatises, and journals would incur in the same degree the charge of forgery, for all of them are inexact, and are more or less doctored, schematized, and constructed." The first recognized Neanderthal remains were discovered in the Neander Valley near Dusseldorf, Germany, in 1856. Quarry workers stumbled upon a skull cap, several limb bones, and some other fragments. Interestingly enough, these discoveries were made during a period that coincided with the release of Charles Darwin's work on the origin of species. Neanderthals are claimed to be a close relative of modern humans. To this day, reconstructed drawings of this Neanderthal man are depicted in scholarly journals and textbooks, and claimed to be a missing evolutionary link. The fact is, however, that all so-called Neanderthal remains have never been shown to be any more different from modern humans than an Asian from a Caucasian, or an Inuit from an Aborigine. As well, the skull size shows its brain was 13% larger than the average brain of modern man, making it impossible to be an intermediary between modern man and ape. Even Time magazine in 1971 claimed the primitiveness of Neanderthal man to be unwarranted, that he could walk the street unrecognized. One writer even commenting that historians of the future may declare all of us insane for not detecting and refuting this incredible blunder with adequate determination. In the early 20th century, fossil specimens were discovered on the Indonesian island of Java by Dutch physician and paleontologist Eugene Dubois. It is worth noting that Dubois had previously studied as an apprentice under Ernest Haeckel, the evolutionist involved in the elaborate hoaxes previously outlined. Dubois claimed to have found significant remains at the Trinil site along the Solo River, including a skullcap, a leg bone, a jaw fragment, and 3 teeth, from which he constructed the ape-like Java Man. Within 10 years of its discovery, Java Man was the main subject of over 80 evolution books and articles, and was eventually named Homo erectus. Hank Hanegraaff, author and talk show host, wrote, "Interestingly, some of the teeth were old and some young. The bones belonged to ape, female and male. It was an interesting conglomeration, and the reason that people didn't catch on to it is because the find of Dubois was kept from scholars for about 30 years. Finally, enough pressure was placed on him that the actual bones were allowed to be examined, and the discrepancies were found, and eventually, enlightened America, as well as the world, found out that this was a hoax. Java Man's teeth were discovered to be of varying ages, and the bones were a combination of human and ape remains, including a large gibbon's skull. The story of Piltdown Man revolves around a notorious archaeological hoax that occurred in the early 20th century. The discovery took place in 1912 in Piltdown, England, when Charles Dawson, an amateur archaeologist, claimed to have found remains of an ancient hominid. The findings were presented as a missing link between apes and humans, garnering significant attention from the scientific community. The supposed Piltdown Man fossils included a human-like skull with an ape-like jaw, along with various other bone fragments and teeth. In 1953, the Piltdown Man specimens were revealed to be an elaborate forgery. In 1953, the fossils were conclusively identified as a composite of ancient human skull fragments, an orangutan jaw, and chimpanzee teeth, molars and premolars, that were filed down to make them appear more human-like. As well, the bones were chemically treated and stained to match an aged appearance. It became clear that the deception was meticulously planned and executed. Lucy was discovered in 1974 in the Afar region of Ethiopia by paleoanthropologist Donald Johansen and his team. The discovery represented a relatively complete skeleton of an alleged early human ancestor claimed to have lived approximately 3.2 million years ago. Lucy belonged to the species Australopithecus afarensis, which displayed a combination of ape-like and human-like characteristics and was claimed to walk upright. There have been numerous controversies and debates surrounding Lucy's classification and significance. For example, there were claims that Johansen did not allow other scientists to examine Lucy's bones until 1982, 8 years after the discovery. Some argue that as more Australopithecus skeletons have been found and examined, many leading evolutionists now consider Lucy to be simply an extinct type of ape, similar to modern pygmy chimpanzees, rather than a direct human ancestor. In May 1999, the French Science AV magazine ran a cover story titled "Goodbye, Lucy." The article discussed how Lucy, once considered the most famous fossil of Australopithecus, was no longer seen as the root of the human race, and, quote, needs to be removed from the supposed human family tree.
So, Java Man, Piltdown Man, Lucy, the 3 most famous fucking evidence for evolution were all debunked as hoaxes, but we still learn about them in fucking Rockefeller textbooks, even though they're confirmed hoaxes. Kind of like space, outer space and planets and shit, but they still teach us whatever the fuck they want. They don't give a fuck about us. They want us all stupid. They want us believing fucking nonsense. Evolution is ridiculous. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't believe in evolution, but I need more
Macro evolution.
Right.
Evolution. People, animals, and they change based on their environment and shit, and they evolve to live.
100%.
But we don't. There's no animals that have ever been proven to transform from nothing to pond scum to fucking a salamander to a fish to a
Well,
fish.
no, that's not true. That's not true. Butterflies, caterpillars turn into butterflies.
That's just young butterflies. That's
what
a baby
about
turning into an adult? That's all it is.
what about they got those fish that grow legs and can walk on land and breathe air.
Tadpoles and frogs. That's again
No.
a
There's
frog.
fish that can walk on land, bro. They're what are they called? Mud skippers or some shit.
Yeah, but that's probably just the species. That's not.
But it's an evolution, right? You're right. It's not like they're turning from a fish into a bird, right?
Yeah.
All right, I see what you're saying. So yeah, that's a microevolution. Yeah, no, I'm not for. I don't like. I just don't see us going from apes into us without there being a
Ridiculous.
plethora of evidence, right?
Yes.
So again, I'm on. I got two theories, dog. I'm sticking to it. I got two theories. We either came from apes and we used Sorry, I'm moving my camera. Uh, we either came from apes and we aliens picked us up and pushed us through to like a huge time warp of evolution where it was a bunch of microevolutions over a long period of time. They helped us get to the next level, or this is a simulation. I'm
But
sticking with it. Those are my options.
them helping us from apes to where we are now, how does that explain nothing turning into a fucking fish, turning into a salamander, turning into an ape? You're missing that whole thing too. Evolution is just ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that part. Well, but I think that's why they use the phrase "our lizard brain," right? Because they think we
That's
evolved from that.
because our brain has it's the reptilian brain. It's not a literal reptilian. It means the physical. That's what they're talking about when they say reptilian brain.
Dude, what if our actual brains are alien parasites and we've come to this planet and taken over?
I need to say something real quick.
Go ahead.
Before I learned that the earth is definitely flat, I used to be obsessed with aliens. I fucking loved aliens.
Oh, so
I
you're
was
gonna
an
shit on aliens.
atheist. I didn't believe there was a creator. I thought it was all fucking nonsense. I need to get that out there because I was more deep than you with the whole alien thing. And it's just so ridiculous once you do the research, especially when they're fucking amping all the alien shit up. Yeah, I don't know how aliens would have helped because you're skipping the entire early part of evolution.
Maybe, I mean, I don't know about that part. Um, I'm just putting out my theories, dog.
Oh, for sure. And I'm just telling you what I think
So
about your theories.
if you don't believe in like outer space and aliens and they came here, like, dude, there's hieroglyphs of fucking or petroglyphs of fucking alien, like humanoid figures pointing at alien fucking figures, and then like the pyramids are all lined up perfectly on all these different continents, built way back when they couldn't go from continent to continent. Like, dude, aliens, bro, aliens.
Tartarians and hieroglyphs, they fucking take control of everything. They wiped us out. Go back to episode, I think 4, where we talk about how they've done tons of fucking resets. You don't think they can punch in some fucking hieroglyphs with some fucking UFOs real quick on some rocks that they fucking destroyed?
Punching some hieroglyphs on your forehead and keep talking shit, motherfucker. I'm sorry, I'm feisty today, dog. I just want to fight.
No, you're good. All right, let's keep going. Here's some guy.
I just want to fight.
Someone says, do you believe in evolution? I say, what do you mean? It's got 6 different meanings. First would have to be cosmic evolution, the Big Bang. Where did time, space, and matter come from? Then you have to get chemical evolution. There's 92 naturally occurring elements. How do you get gold, silver, and platinum out of hydrogen gas? Then you got to have stars evolving, stellar evolution. Nobody has ever seen a star form. Then you have to have organic evolution. Life has to somehow come from non-living matter. Then you have to have macroevolution, where an animal changes from one kind into another. Nobody's ever seen these first 5. The Earth formed 4.5 billion years ago. And then this first life form that came out of the soup had to somehow transform itself into everything else today. So that little amoeba, single-celled creature, turned into a whale and a giraffe and a pine tree and everything. Look, you guys can believe what you want, but don't call that science. Evolution's not part of science. It's a religious belief.
It is a religious belief. So is the fucking globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's saying evolution is a religious belief. What do you think?
It is. I feel like most things are cult like. And for every religion is a cult. I don't give Christianity, Judaism, every single one. It's a cult.
You know what a cult is?
Nope. But I know
You
that
know what
I
a
don't want
cult
to be a
is,
part of
but
one.
I'm saying the actual definition of a cult is basically, I don't know what the actual definition is, but it means, I couldn't tell you like word for word the definition is what I mean, but
you want me to tell you?
Means,
you want me to tell you?
In being
in
it means being in a group where you're told what to think, do, believe. That's why when next week's episode, when it comes out, when he's saying, actually it already came out. That's why the debate that we had where he kept calling Flat Earth a cult makes no fucking sense, because Flat Earthers don't tell you what to think or believe. We just give you evidence and tell you to do your own research. Whereas the globe has been beaten into your fucking brain by the Freemason Illuminati since you were a child.
So a cult, a religion or a religious sect generally considered to be extremist or false, with its followers often living in an unconventional manner under the guidance of an authoritarian, charismatic leader.
Yep.
I think it's broader than that, though. I don't think it's specifically. I mean, I guess as we go along, we like to throw out these blanket statements over everything, and we like to um, put everything in like groups or categorize everything. But like legit people be like football team fans, we're all in a cult, man. The NFL, that like anything you get tribal about,
Yeah.
other than immediate like family, is kind of culty.
Yeah.
It might not be a cult, but it's giving cult vibes, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
With you.
but yeah.
Yeah. Evolution is a belief. So it's just like everybody else's religion. It's a belief.
Yeah.
All right. We'll keep going.
All right.
We're running through this bitch.
I'm a
Evolution has moved beyond evidence-based science. It has become a worldview. A worldview telling you life is an accident. You are just another animal. There is no creator to answer to. For over 160 years, this idea has been pushed as fact, shaping education, politics, and morality. But when we trace its origins, its evidence, and its impact, a darker truth emerges. This isn't science, it's a deception. A narrative the fallen would use to pull humanity from God and into worship of self. Let's be clear. Microevolution is real. Bacteria adapt to antibiotics. Moths change color in polluted cities. Generations of life adapt to environmental changes. This is variation within existing genetic limits, no new body plans, no entirely new creatures. Macroevolution, the claim that all life came from a single ancestor by blind chance, requires huge leaps that have never been observed. The fallen blur this distinction, selling small adaptations as proof of life creating itself. Why did Darwin's theory spread so quickly? Because it gave people what they wanted, freedom from God. When On the Origin of Species was published in 1859, Enlightenment thinkers were already rejecting divine creation. Darwin gave them a convenient narrative. You are not created, you are an accident. This is how the fallen work. Sell the lie first, then scramble to provide evidence. When the evidence didn't exist, fraud filled the gaps. The Piltdown Man, hailed as the missing link between apes and humans, was displayed in museums and textbooks for over 40 years, from 1912 to 1953, until it was exposed as a hoax. A human skull and an orangutan jaw, chemically stained to appear ancient. Haeckel's embryo drawings, created in the 1860s, were faked to show human embryos resembling fish and reptiles. Haeckel himself admitted to the fraud, yet his drawings remained in textbooks for decades. Both were celebrated as proof, displayed for decades until exposed as hoaxes. But the damage was done. Generations were raised in a world where evolution was proven as fact, instead of the fiction the evidence provides. This isn't science. It's a pattern of deception, exactly how the fallen sow lies. Convince, repeat, and keep repeating even after the fraud is exposed. Darwin himself admitted his theory could collapse if the fossil record showed sudden bursts of life. He wrote, "If numerous species have really started into life all at once, the fact would be fatal to the theory." He was talking about what we now call the Cambrian explosion, and he knew it was a serious problem. Darwin hoped future discoveries would fill in the gaps, but 160 years later, the problem is worse, not better. Cambrian fossils show dozens of fully formed, complex animals appearing abruptly, without transitional ancestors. By Darwin's own words, this is fatal to the theory. Yet the theory remains, not because of evidence, but because the narrative is too useful to abandon. Why push a theory with holes this big? Because it serves a spiritual agenda. Evolution tells you, there is no creator. You're just an animal. Morality is survival of the fittest. You define truth. You are your own God. This is the same ancient whisper from the Garden of Eden. You will be like God. The fallen simply repackaged it for modern times. Look at the pattern. Rapid acceptance before proof. Fraud presented as fact for decades. Darwin's own standard for failure met and ignored. A philosophy perfectly aligned with rebellion against the creator.
Hey, bud.
Hey, there you are.
What do you think? I know you don't believe in God. You don't think there's a creator.
I mean, like I said, I think we might be in a simulation. So, if that's the case, there's somebody who created the simulation.
Yeah. So we're on the same page about that. I just don't think the simulation is created by people that have us in pods. I think it's It's just a place for us to go, other than us being. I think we chose. We don't have to get into all that, but
No, let's get into it.
I think we chose to be here. I think we chose Earth. I think there's tons of other dimensions that we could go to once we're back in our actual consciousness. Because you can call it God, you can call it creator, you can call it whatever you want. But I think it's just consciousness. I think we're all one consciousness, and we come down here to live out a different version of the consciousness. I think me and you have the same consciousness. We're just put down here to experience different things.
You
You know
think
what I mean?
you think
Like
we're
you
the
grew
same?
up in your family, I grew up in my family, and it spliced the consciousness into believing that we're not the same anymore. And that's why people are able to get fucking angry at each other and be violent with each other, because we've forgotten that we are one. What do you think?
Do you think that we're AI and we're learning about the human hold on, let me finish before you say no.
I just told you I
Because
didn't believe that.
hold do you think that we're part, like you say, we're all part of a consciousness? Do you think that we're potentially all sent here to learn something differently and collectively learn and understand the human experience, that this way creating a even better simulation for the next person or the next group of people, whatever the case may be? Do you think we're the same person? You think we're the same soul, same
I don't
entity?
think it has anything
You
to do
think
with
we're one?
AI, but I
You
get what
want to
you're
get inside
saying.
my
If you
body?
take the computers out of it, I get what you're saying.
Okay. You think we're gonna merge, me and you? We'll just
When I
and
die, I'm going to go back up to consciousness, and when you die, you're going to go back up to
then
consciousness.
we'll become one.
We already are. We just don't.
No, but
We just forgot it.
okay. So we're already one, me and you.
Yeah.
We're in the same soul suit.
Yep. Same thing with the tree out there. That tree is
Okay.
us too. That
Okay.
fucking mosquito that you swatted, you just fucking killed part of yourself. What I'm saying is people need to be kinder to each other, because we're all one. Stop
Right.
fucking killing each other and being scumbags to each other and
So
eating dead flesh. And
hold on. I like something you said there. But I think we could do that without being all one. I think we can all be different people and still be kinder to each other and stop killing each other and being
absolutely.
pieces of shit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yeah.
think we need to believe that we're all one consciousness to just not be fucking scumbags.
That's just I'm just telling you what I believe.
Right? I'm just saying though, like if we all lived by that, life would be a lot better for everyone.
Bro, if we all live like that, for one, there would be no fucking governments doing anything anymore, because we would all fucking stop it. Right now, we think we're all just one individual that can't do shit. A lot of people I know don't meditate. I don't really know anybody that meditates other than people I've met at festivals. But there's a mass meditation happening on Friday where tons of people are going to meditate. And listen, whether you believe in spiritual shit or not, mass meditation is you're tapping into everybody else that is meditating.
Dude, you're gonna meditate so hard, bro. You're gonna meditate so hard. I can feel it. I can feel how hard you're gonna meditate.
Bro, by Friday, I'll be like day fucking 30 or 31 or some shit. And my meditations are fucking amazing now.
Okay.
Like
You're
the fasting
hallucinating.
fucking kicks that shit into high gear.
You're hallucinating when you meditate almost. Oh,
That isn't, dude, I've been doing that
the
that
space travel?
huh?
The travel and shit?
Nah, yeah, so the CIA
Yeah.
declassified fucking what the hell is it called?
Out of body experience travel and shit.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
gateway experience. It's fucking nuts, dude. And that shit, like,
You come to my house yet? You watching me sleep?
not yet. I haven't fucking left my body yet, but I'm hoping soon.
Okay. I'm gonna hide a $20 bill in my house. You gotta find it.
I need to get consistent with it. Like, if
Well,
I feel like if I miss a day or two, and then
consistency is the key. That's what they
yeah,
all say.
yeah, especially with growing this YouTube channel. Okay. Okay, I guess we'll get back to it.
Hey guys, here's this.
Many people have said to me, Cliff, I'm an atheist because of evolution. I'm an agnostic because of evolution. I have deep doubts because of evolution. Really? Evolution as a process can be shown to be true to some extent in a lab, on a breeding farm. But evolution as an origin? That's a fantasy. Why? Because when you study evolution, you will notice there is no creative mechanism anywhere in evolution. Adaptation, yes. Responding to the influence of climate and topography, sure. Life adapts. But there is no creative mechanism anywhere in evolution.
I would love to hear you disprove evolution. Can we do that?
If evolution is true, then you go through a progressive evolution, if you will, of these organisms evolving into an increasingly more being-like creature. The problem is there's zero evidence of that. The problem is you have these single-celled organisms and multi-celled organisms, and then there's just a giant gap in the fossil record. And you have animals, and then you have man. But we don't have a fossil record that takes us from single and multi-celled organisms into an entire species. And we just simply ignore that.
Wow.
And so
I didn't know that.
this ecosystem is so intelligent, not in my opinion, but in the scientific evidence, it could not have been put together by accident. It didn't happen by happenstance.
It's Gary Brecka, is that his name?
I think so. Yeah.
He does a lot of the breathwork videos that I've seen.
I can see that.
Yeah. There's just more people telling you it's fucking nonsense. This next guy is a religious dude, but how can I say this politely?
I'm listening.
A lot of Christians are fucking retarded. Was that polite?
I mean, anybody willing to molest boys is fucking retarded.
Well, I didn't say every Christian was a pedo.
Well, if you're
not going into Catholic, bro. I said Christian.
Oh, isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, pretty much. No, but they read a book that has over 200 passages that the Earth is level, stationary, and unmovable. Yet they still think they live on a spinning globe, which goes against their fucking God. They believe in evolution and the Big Bang, which this guy's going to fucking tear them apart for in a second. It just makes no goddamn sense.
Let her rip.
And then we don't got to go back into the Jesus thing. Oh my God, that episode. So many people got mad at me for the Jesus episode.
Jesus walks.
Happy
Jesus walks with him. Okay.
You guys believe 20 billion years ago there was a Big Bang where nothing exploded and produced everything. 4.6 billion years ago the Earth cooled down, made a hard rocky crust. It rained on the rocks for millions of years, turned them into soup, and the soup came alive 3 billion years ago. And this early life form found somebody to marry. Boy, now that's a good treat. And something to eat, of course, and slowly evolved into everything we see today. One professor was getting kind of upset about this time. I seem to do that to them. He said, Mr. Hovind, there are hundreds of varieties of dogs in the world. I said, yes, sir, you're right about that. He said, you mean to tell me that you believe all these dogs came from 2 dogs off of Noah's Ark? You expect me to believe that? Ha, ha, ha. I said, sir, would you look at what you're teaching your students? You're teaching your students that all the dogs in the world came from a rock. I had one lady come to me after a debate one time. She was steaming down the aisle. Boy, she was mad. Oh, I could tell I'm in trouble now. I stood there quivering in my boots, you know. She walked up and she said, tonight, you said, we believe we come from a rock. We do not believe that. I said, well, ma'am, calm down just for a minute. I said, do you believe in evolution? She said, yes, I do. I'm a professor here at the university. I said, well, would you please tell me then where we came from? She said, we came from a macromolecule. I said, where did that come from? She said, from the oceans, from the prebiotic soup. I said, where did that come from? She said, well, it rained on the rocks for millions of years. And you could see it was slowly dawning on her. I do believe I come from a rock, don't I? Yes, ma'am, you do. You ought to be proud of it. Hey, don't step on Grandpa, whatever you do. Look, that's stupid, okay? There's no kind way to say it. Textbooks will say we started like a bacteria and slowly evolved to a human. I think that's stupid. But if you want to believe that, that's perfectly fine. Those trees of life that they put in the textbooks for your kids are a bunch of nonsense. And even evolutionists will admit that. Stephen Jay Gould, the Marxist professor at Harvard University, he says that evolutionary trees that adorn our textbooks are not the evidence of fossils. It's only inference. We infer, we imply, we hope it happened this way.
This textbook says, all the many forms of life on Earth today are descended from a common ancestor. What? You mean the birds and the bananas have a common ancestor? Darwin said, though, if my theory be true, here's his book right here. You can look on page 211. He said, if my theory be true, numberless intermediate varieties must assuredly have existed. Boy, you're right about that, Charlie. I mean, to change from a rock to a dog would take a few changes. David Robb, who believes in evolution very strongly, says, in the years after Darwin, his advocates hoped to find predictable progressions. In general, these have not been found, yet the optimism has died hard, and some pure fantasy has crept into textbooks. Oh, you're kidding. Fantasy in our textbooks? Oh, yep. They tell the kids they have evidence of evolution from fossils. I don't think so. That is stupid, okay? If you find a fossil in the dirt, all you know is it died. You don't know that it had any kids, do you? And you sure don't know that it had different kids. I mean, think about it. You're in a court of law. You bring in a bone to the judge. Judge, I found this bone in the dirt. This is the ancestor of all the humans today. They would laugh at you. You don't know that that's the ancestor of anybody, do you? And why on earth would you think a bone in the dirt can do something animals today cannot do? Animals today can only produce the same kind, right?
He brings up a really good point. If you go to court and you present evidence that has no backing, they will fucking laugh at you and you'll go to jail if there's no sufficient evidence to support your claims.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Big Bang Theory, which is literally called a theory because it is a fucking theory, because you need the Big Bang in order for evolution to work. So Big Bang has no evidential evidence at all. Evolution has zero evidence at all, and all the evidence that they've brought up has been fraud or hoaxed, like proven to be hoaxes. So evolution is a theory. We have the theory of gravity, which is also still a theory that has zero to back it up other than things fall and things go up, which is buoyancy and density. You have the globe Earth, which has no fucking evidence other than NASA admitted fake CGI pictures, where tons of the pictures, America's like big and small and fucking, it makes no goddamn sense. No one's ever given me one proof in the fucking, I don't know how many conversations I've had. This is not a Flat Earth episode, so I'll stop talking about it. But if you were in a courtroom and you brought any of these up to court to save yourself from being arrested for some reason, they would laugh at you because you have no evidence. But they still put them in Rockefeller textbooks. They still beat them into children's brains to make them believe that we came from pond scum and we used to be fucking apes and we don't matter because we're an accident. We are not a fucking accident. And that's why I believe in a creator, because there's no possible way we weren't perfectly created. The very first video shows you the magnificent shit the human body could do if you're not eating poison. And if it was a random accident, it wouldn't make any sense that it functions perfectly the way it should. Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, well, you know, people who are so 100% sure, they listen to that preacher talk, right? 100% sure, positive, he knows exactly what the fuck. Do you know what I'm positive on in life? Anything. Do you know anything I feel 100% certain on?
You like
right and wrong. That's it. Just right and wrong. My own morality. That's it, man.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm like, nope, that's not right. Or yes, that's right. But like for somebody, I can't personally understand how somebody can be 100% sure on anything whatsoever. And maybe it's me. Maybe I'm a victim of recent or what is it called? There's a phrase for it. I have recency bias. Like, dude, if I see a band in concert, I'm like, greatest band ever. That was amazing. Greatest. And then I go to the next concert, greatest band ever. That was amazing.
Yeah, but that's just you being an opinion and living in the moment.
Right. But like people who are like it, I don't know if it's just me, but it bothers me when people are like 100% sure on anything. Because even today, you can find proofs on everything. Anything you want, you can find a proof on it.
That's not true though.
Okay.
So I don't think he's being 100% like me. Well, I'll just take me because I don't know him. I am positive about things I've done tons of research on, and I follow the evidence. And there's a lot of evidence that will stop things dead in their tracks from you believing them ever again. Like there not being any missing links. We'll just stick here and not go to flat Earth. But there's no evidence at all of evolution. Zero scientific basis
of major evolution. Right.
So that's why you can be sure about shit. As long as you've done your research and you can use your critical thinking to know that something is fucking bullshit, like 9/11 was definitely our government and the Mossad.
Right. But those are still opinions. He can't come out and say that that's fact because he wasn't there. Until you've seen it with your own eyes, you can't say it's fact. That's just my opinion.
Exactly. That's why I can say evolution isn't fact because there's no proof.
I would agree with that. Macroevolution, microevolution, there is proof.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with you there.
Cool.
But also, like,
I get what you're saying, though. Like,
you can't come out and say macroevolution impossible never happened because we weren't around to potentially see it if it did. That's also my point. Even if you're gonna say it's 99.9999999, you gotta at least leave a little fucking room for us being wrong, because we are humans and we do make mistakes, and maybe we miss something. Maybe they're hiding.
They did this shit on purpose.
Maybe they're hiding all the proof. You never know.
They want you to believe it, so they're not gonna hide it.
Yeah, but maybe they don't.
Maybe they do though.
Hold on, maybe in what's that fucking the Vatican has maybe the Vatican went around and collected all the proof and hid it all so you would believe in their religion. You'll never know.
I actually had a conversation with my nephew a few years ago, and a couple years ago, about 2 years ago. Anyway, he was telling me how I was going into, he was asking me about what I'm eating and shit like that. And I was telling him how
steaming.
Huh?
What?
I didn't hear what you said.
Me neither.
All right. I guess I'll fucking have to edit it and then listen. And I was telling him that it's a giant fucking group that wants us sick and dying. And that's why they feed us the terrible processed food and garbage. And he goes, yeah, but maybe they're not lying and now you're being lied to. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I lost fucking almost 200 pounds because I stopped believing their lie, or I started believing their lie, and I got healthier because I started believing their lie. It makes no fucking sense. They don't want us healthy. They want us fucking sick and fucking garbage.
Medicated.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Medicated.
You
need to do an episode on Big Pharma.
We kind of have.
No, I mean specifically
your dealer, which is the doctor. Remember that episode?
Yeah. Isn't that about food too, though?
Yeah, we'll do an episode about pharmaceuticals, sure.
Dude, like. Anyways, sorry to get on a tangent.
No, that's what the show is. I show you videos and then I want to talk to you. That's the whole point of the show. Not so people just watch videos and then we cut off and be like, yeah, all right, we'll just keep going.
Well, here's another one.
The whole point is to get our opinions on it. That's what a podcast is, bud.
Oh.
Thanks
for learning me.
What?
Huh?
All right.
Evolution is based on 4 major ideas. None of them have ever been observed. Number 1, that life comes from non-life. We have not one single example of life coming from non-life. Number 2, that all the life forms that we have today came from single-cell life forms. Many people do not know that while we do have single-cell life forms that we call bacteria, we have no 2-celled life forms, we don't have 3-cell life forms, we don't have 4-cell life forms, we don't even have 5-cell life forms. That is, we go from single-cell bacteria to complex life forms. So there's no evidence that all life comes from single-cell life forms. The third postulate of evolution is that time and chance drive evolution forward, of course, and time works against evolution. The chance of one simple 100-unit protein coming together by accident is a very big number. Time and chance make evolution absolutely impossible. The fourth postulate that evolution is based on is that what we see today Minor genetic variation in species is evidence of macroevolution. So because cats are different colors, dogs are different sizes, that means that fish turned into cows. And of course, we know that that's not true because Mendel proved that all the genes that exist today, you can shuffle them around, but there are no new genes that were created.
All right, there's a little clip of someone, again, proving it. This next clip is actually, I've used this exact argument that he's about to show against people who try to tell me that evolution is real.
Okay.
We'll just get, I think it's the last video too. So
I think it's a 13 Pro Max, but it might be a 14. I don't even know. Let's say 14. We'll go with yours. If I look at it, it recognizes my face, it unlocks. It's got apps, does message, it calls, it takes pictures. If I told you I didn't buy this used to be an iPhone 1 and it evolved by itself. It became iPhone 2 and then it became iPhone 3 until it became iPhone 11 and a 12 and a 13 and a 14. And before it was an iPhone 1, over billions of years, it was just a grain of sand. By itself, over trillions of years, it evolved without any design. Just be honest. Would you believe me? You wouldn't. It shows that there is a purpose, functionality, that couldn't come on accident. I would ask an agnostic, what's more powerful, your eyes or these cameras? You can see further, clearer, and recognize better than these cameras. Siri is not as intelligent as you. Everything that this phone has, human has designed. So if this phone couldn't create itself, then it's more illogical to believe that you came by yourself.
did that phone just magically appear in the middle of the woods and have all those great capabilities? Did it go from iPhone 1 to iPhone 14 on its own? No, it didn't. But the human body is way more intricate than a fucking stupid fucking smartphone. And yet we believe that we came from nothing. Makes no fucking sense.
I mean
what?
He's not wrong, but also like a shark is way more intricate and amazing than an iPhone.
Yeah.
A dolphin is fucking a million times more amazing than an iPhone. Scorpion. A fucking like pick any living being.
Exactly.
Or even non-living. Think about fucking things that mushrooms do. Right.
Dude.
All more impressive than an iPhone, in my opinion.
Oh,
Granted, I mean, I have iPhones, but
no, but you're right. Every living thing has more capability and more it's alive.
Right.
That alone.
Right.
So like how did we come from fucking nothing? It doesn't make any sense. It would never make sense at all.
Okay. I like that video. I like that one.
That last one?
That last one. Hey, you found one I liked, bud. Fuck all the other ones.
Okay. So we could have just played the one video and
we could have played that one and I'd be like, oh yeah, I get it.
All right. So
I'm glad you saved it for last. Shit. I'm glad you saved it for last.
It's actually, I've been looking for that fucking video for over a week and I could not fucking find it. And I actually edited all the videos together. And then I'm like, I'm going to look for that fucking video one more time. And I fucking found it. And then I had to fucking edit. So, yeah.
Holy shit.
That's all I got. My question for you is...
Yes, I believe in aliens.
No, it has nothing to do with aliens.
Fuck.
Do you believe in the mainstream evolutionary explanation for
of humans?
How we exist?
Of humans?
Yes.
How we got here?
Yes.
From Neanderthals?
Yes.
Nah, dog.
From the Big Bang to pond scum to...
No, I told you my theories. I still believe in my two theories.
Okay. But no, that wasn't the question. I'm asking you, do you believe in the mainstream's bullshit?
No, because those aren't my theories.
Okay. Do you believe in the mainstream's bullshit and you pretend you don't have any theories because the whole episode is about you believing in the mainstream or not?
No, I do not believe in the mainstream theory that we eventually evolved from chimpanzees or whatever into whatever we are now.
Yeah, you're right.
Nope, I don't believe that.
I agree with you.
Aliens picked us up, helped us evolve. Or
after the evolution of fucking nothing to apes, apparently.
Simulation, baby. Simulation. None of this is
Why
real.
don't you do a simulation episode for us, bud? You can spearhead it.
You know what, you son of a gun? I have an episode in the works.
Do you?
I do.
All right.
I'm not going to tell you the topic. I'm just going to be like, hey, Joe, let's record.
Is it Waco?
It's not.
Okay, because
It's
I'm
not
working on
gun.
Waco
It's
right now.
not
and I
gun
didn't want to keep-
related.
Okay. Okay, it's not gun related.
No, it's not.
Shit. All right.
I know. I believe in other things than guns. I get it.
Okay, but I believe in more things than guns. All right, that's all I got, bud.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
I'm excited about wearing hats again. When we first started, I'd wear a hat. And then we got these fucking headphones because we got all this fancy schmancy equipment. So we could up the quality of this podcast for all you fine ladies and gentlemen. And now we're regressing a little bit and we're taking the headphones off and the quality's not going anywhere. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Like, share, subscribe, share with your friends, tell your mom I want my $5 back, and Godspeed.
What $5?
I don't fucking know. I'm just talking shit, dog.
You've reached the offices of the Godspeed podcast. We are currently closed. Please leave your information and someone will return your call within 24 business days. Thank you.
The theory of evolution was actually created by a cult member that worships Lucifer. Charles Darwin, the man that started the evolution theory, actually grew up studying under his grandfather Erasmus Darwin. Erasmus Darwin had been a Freemason his entire life, initiated into the time immemorial lodge of Canongate Kilwinning No. 2 of Scotland. However, Erasmus Darwin's ideological beliefs were heavily influenced by a man named Lord Monboddo, who was a famous judge in Scotland during that time. Monboddo actually worshipped demonic Egyptian creatures, and even came to the conclusion that human civilization owes their existence to Egyptian demon kings. Erasmus Darwin also shared the same ideology as Monboddo and incorporated this belief in many of his scientific writings. This was passed down to his grandson, Charles Darwin, who pioneered the theory of evolution. The theory of evolution is satanic to its core, considering that it was influenced by a Freemason that worshipped demonic Egyptian creatures. Evolution goes directly against God's word because it denies the account of creation in the book of Genesis. It also seeks to dehumanize us and strip us of our God-given value, considering that God said in Genesis 1:26 that we have dominion over all the creatures of the earth. Evolution, on the other hand, teaches us a demonic lie that we are in the same ranking as other creatures here on earth.